All right, welcome back to the Starfighter podcast. Jake is not here today. It's just Dom, but I've got a very special guest. Really excited about this. We're going to go over the Spider Man Across the Spider Verse movie. Full spoilers ahead. So let's bring on our special guest here. Welcome.
Hey everybody.
We've got Marcellos from the Sidekicks Podcast.
Yup.
It's good to see you, bro. It's been too long.
It has
Um,
been.
Yeah, but for people that don't know, Marcellus, we go way back, and actually, he inspired me to start doing podcasts again. Or actually, not again, but he inspired me to just do them in general. So you've got an awesome channel with our buddy Nathan over there. And yeah, I thought this would be really fun to have you on to talk Spider-Man today.
Yeah, this is gonna be incredible, man. And yes, guys, it has been a while since I've been on the Starfighter podcast. Yeah, I'm excited to talk about this movie. I definitely want to hear your initial thoughts about it, and we'll definitely be talking about the movie in general, and maybe we'll talk about our theories for Beyond the Spider-Verse when that comes out.
Yeah, that'll be great. So everybody, thanks so much for tuning in, whether it's live or on the replay. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and above all else, leave a comment. We'll play them whether it's live or we'll respond in the chat later on. But definitely want to hear your guys' theories and how you enjoyed this film. But yeah, I think we can just get right into it. Again, thanks for being on tonight. Appreciate it.
Thanks for asking.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is, the sequel to Into the Spider-Verse, and mainly focused around Miles, of course, and Gwen Stacy as kind of the supporting character. But yeah, I'll start with you. If you want to give your initial thoughts on the film.
Yeah. So, we all know, like, with sequels, it doesn't really have the greatest track record. There's only like a few sequels out there that are just better than the original movie. But it's still just only a few. And so with Across the Spider-Verse, I was actually kind of nervous with how the movie was going to perform. Not just like financially, but also for the audience and the critics as well, how they're going to look at this film. And just watching like the trailers and the amount of work that they put into it, because I know they put a lot of work in like the different universes and how many people were involved with this. I know, for example, like with Spider-Punk, it took them like 2 to 3 years just to animate his character or his world. So I'm just like, okay, they put a lot of effort into this. And when I saw the movie in theaters with some of my friends, man, it was just amazing. It was really amazing. Like, sure, you can make the argument that the first part of the movie, let's say like maybe the first like hour, is like, kind of a slow burn. But you're getting like getting used to the characters. I mean, some characters are new, like Spider-Man India, Spider-Punk, for example, Spider-Man 2099. So we're just getting like, the details of all these characters. And then in the middle part where you're seeing like all these different cameos and then the twist and then the future that Miles sees from the spot, you're like, okay, we're getting somewhere, right? And then it was some crazy action sequences, man. The dialogue in there was just amazing. Even the ending too, I was like, no way. Like, dude, it was so crazy. And then when they had the sign to be continued, everybody in my theater, they were clapping actually, which is kind of odd. but it is good, but I kind of
I love that. I love that kind of experience.
Because like our theater experience was great. I just felt like some people were going to be like, oh, that's it, like what? But people, were actually clapping. Some people were standing up and clapping. But people in my theater, they really enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed the movie. And I felt like with that ending, it kind of actually got you hyped for Beyond the Spider-Verse, which comes out next year, hopefully. So that's the feel.
Yeah, I heard March.
That's what I got. I heard March. I heard March next year. But yeah, that's the feeling that I felt about this movie, man. So like, it really lived up to the hype Across the Spider-Verse did, and it's definitely well deserved, man. And I hope that eventually it gets like an Oscar or something for like Best Picture or whatever category it is for the Oscars, because it definitely deserves it, man. So yeah, hats off to all the people that created Across the Spider-Verse. So this is definitely one of my favorite films, definitely one of my favorite Spider-Man films. that's just because of recency bias. I just felt like with everything that they did throughout these, years of making this movie, it was definitely worth it, man. So I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, good to hear that for sure. I pretty much echo everything that you just said. I feel like I think that's great too that you had that experience where there was clapping at the end, because I feel like uh, I don't know. I just wish it was more like that more often. Um, people used to have, I think, just like a bigger respect and showed a little bit more appreciation for like films and stuff. Because it's art at the end of the day.
That's true. Yeah.
And so I absolutely love this movie. At first, like my initial reaction, like I did a short video, and I wasn't too sure if I liked it better than the first one, because the first one was just so incredible, and it was almost like you were seeing something brand new and so special for the first time with like the art, and it just feels like they're bringing a comic book to life, uh, and like especially for like you and me who grew up with like a lot of the animated series that are really close to our heart. We just really connect on like another level, I think. And so again, they did that same thing with this one. I actually rewatched the first one over the weekend, and
Oh, okay.
after rewatching the first one, I can now say that this new one I think is better.
Hmm.
And I do like it more.
Hmm.
And I'll also just say I feel like we've gotten to this point. I think that it's so good. Like this movie for me is like a 9 out of 10. I think it's so good. It's crazy to think that we're living in a time right now where an animated film can give us a better story, better character development, better visuals,
Yeah.
and amazing soundtrack. Hats off
Yeah.
to Metro Boomin, because that album is so sick, bro.
Yeah, that's so true. And like, I think after watching Across the Spider Verse and then listening to Metro Boomin's album, I appreciate
So
his
good.
album even more. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
and
it's
even
so
like,
sick.
and even the songs too that was played during the movie, I was like,
Hmm.
okay, that's a perfect place to put that song in. So
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed the soundtrack, man. And then you mentioned about Into the Spider Verse, like I appreciate the movie even more now.
Hmm.
Especially like when you look back at it. Like I remember this one scene. I didn't even think about it actually, but until I saw that scene again in Into the Spider Verse where Peter Parker, the original Peter Parker from Miles' universe, when he saw Miles and the Spidey senses were tingling. Obviously, Peter's was like red and blue, and then Miles was like purple and green, and that's the Prowler's colors.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then after he got well, this is like after he got bit by the spider. So that happened, and then it changed to red and blue, like Spider-Man colors. So Miles is like destiny or like his future. It changed, and so
Mm.
I didn't, when I first saw it, like it didn't pick up. Like it just went over my head. And then like
Yeah.
after watching this movie and the explanation of Earth 42, and then knowing that like wow, like the Miles that we've been following was going to be the Prowler, and
Hmm.
instead it was the Miles, with the braids that turned out to be the Prowler. And I was just
Yeah.
like, wow, you know what I mean? So I appreciate the first movie even more. And then you mentioned about like this animated movie right here, man. Like, dude, animation. I love animation. First off, I love cartoons, and I felt like even though at times, like, yeah, you got the humor in there, and sometimes it can be silly, and some adults may be like, "Psh, this is just for kids," but
Right.
like
Exactly. Exactly.
but like for the longest time, man, like they've always had like really good stories,
Hmm.
and there's plenty of animated movies that are better than live action movies. So
Yeah.
I felt like I feel like companies like Pixar, for example, it did change the game for animated movies. But like Into the Spider Verse, though, like the animation, the visuals, like from what we've seen in Into the Spider Verse and Across the Spider Verse, and now with Across the Spider Verse with the dialogue, it's like now this is another movie that a lot of like live action movies will probably like look at and be like, okay, what can we do? Like, what are some things that we can gather in order to make our movie like perfect? So
Right.
it's always like animated movies have always been like getting the short end of the stick, but like I think just like what we've been seeing with Into Spider Verse and Across the Spider Verse, man, it's just incredible, you know. So I think it was just like kind of a slap to the face, so to speak. You know, it's all to them because it was just an incredible movie, man.
Right, yeah, and like I was saying, like just the time that we're in, I feel like this is going to be the best movie of the year. I think easily, and like above live action, because some people just, they don't understand, or they don't give it a fair chance to realize that, like, even these animated films, like, they can be for kids, but the story can definitely affect, people of all ages.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So yeah, it was definitely
and
9 out of 10 movie.
yeah, and like you were saying too about, like, them taking some risks, and when it comes to, doing the sequel, and can it live up to the hype of the first one? Very few do, but to me, this was like, yeah, it still captured that magic from the first one, and then, like, in a way, it kind of feels like, the Empire Strikes Back, or like the Dark Knight, you know what I mean, of the trilogy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's what a lot of people have been saying about
yeah,
Across the Spider-Verse. Like, it kind of reminds me more of like Empire Strikes Back. Obviously, this is
yeah,
Star Wars and Marvel, but like,
right,
you know, from what I can recall from Empire Strikes Back, it's like, you know, they like with Luke, you know, he's trying to find out like who he is, and then he's training with Yoda, and then like Luke, Leia, and everybody else are trying to, like, you know, save, trying to get Han. It's just like, you know, some of the stuff that happened in Empire Strikes Back.
mm-hmm.
It does kind of remind you of like of Across the Spider-Verse, you know, in some way, shape, or form.
There's very similar beats throughout it, especially towards the end of the film too. A lot of similarities.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so I thought we could talk a little bit, about the plot, and I guess different story points. Maybe we could start with, like, Gwen. How did you enjoy, like, her character development and things that were going on with her, like when it came to her relationship with her dad, and then meeting back up with Miles and kind of the mission that she was on to? Did you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, we can. So first off, I actually do like the fact that they started off with Gwen, and this kind of felt like it was her movie too. You know, because like they really focused on Gwen a lot here. You know, they focused on Miles for sure, but like they did focus a lot on Gwen. In the beginning, man, like, you know, we saw like her world, and like her universe is definitely like different too. It feels like it's more vibrant, like bright colors, you know, in that universe there, which was like really interesting. I didn't think that her world would be like that. But like her, you know, her life, right, and then also her relationship with her Peter, in her universe, that was interesting. What's his name? Is it Jake Quad, Jack Quad, whatever. Like he's from this one show. I can't remember the name of it, but I didn't realize that actor was voicing as Peter Parker. So that was definitely like a real shocker to me.
There's a lot of talented actors.
That is true. Film. Yeah, there were a lot of talented people in this film. So like, yeah, she's just banging on the drums, right? And I forgot that she was a drummer because I like to play the drums too. So I was like, okay, rock on, girl, you know? So
yeah.
So yeah, that was really cool. But like, you could tell like what she was really going through, you know, like her best friend died, man, because, you know, he wanted to be different Peter. And then the relationship with her dad as well. Her fighting that vulture from like the 18th century or wherever he's from, you know, and then Spider-Man 2099, he appears, and then Spider-Woman, they all appear. But like that scene, man, like after the whole fight where like, you know, she's holding on to like her shoulder, I believe, and then her father comes, and just like that conversation, and then she, you know, she takes her mask off. And, you know, she's just basically like, you know, can you just stop being a cop and just be a dad? Like, just understand, like, do you really think that I would murder somebody? Which is a good question because, like, he's a cop, you know, and so he's obviously raising her to be a good person. So, like, he was like, no, you're under arrest, like, hands behind your head.
Reading the rights,
yeah, you know, and I was just like, what, man? Like, are you serious? Like, do you really think she would do something like this? Like, you know, she's trying to be a hero just like you know. And then afterwards, like she went with Spider-Man 2099, Miguel, and Spider Woman after that. So yeah, that was a really interesting scene right there. So I like the fact that they
Yeah.
started off with her and then they moved on to Miles afterwards.
Right. I was gonna say real quick about that part too. I felt like that was a pretty emotional scene as well, and I think a lot of people could connect with it because even if you've never had like that exact experience with your parent, like I feel like for a lot of kids, that's a fear that their parents will put like their work before them. Um, and so I think that a lot of people connected with that moment. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, that's true. And actually, like listening to your child as well, like let your child, you know, speak, listen to them because you know they also have like a point as well. So I like that point that you mentioned actually. You mentioned about like the mission two that she was on, I
Yeah, I thought it
believe.
was really interesting because it was kind of, it was disguised, and at first you were trying to figure out why she was there,
Right.
because the um, did they even have a name for all of them?
Oh,
You
I
know
can't
the
really remember.
But yeah, so it seemed kind of sketchy, like her conversations, and it was just very secretive, and she
Hmm.
obviously wasn't going to tell Miles why she was there.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Hmm. Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
but did you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah. So I actually just I thought that she wanted to see Miles, you know, but then I realized like okay, it's been a few months, you know, after she joined the Spider Society,
Yeah.
and you know they were just swinging through the city, but you know after a while, I think the when she left like to put that camera by like the bridge or something to track the spot,
Hmm.
then that was like okay, something is funny here, you know. And then obviously later on in the film, you know, we'll talk about that a little bit more, but like, um, she definitely wanted to feel like, you know, included and wanted to, you know, live up to her name. And, you know, she's not like a murderer or anything, obviously. It's just that she just wanted to feel like accepted, you know, be a part of like a family, be a part of a team.
Yeah.
Um, so that's why like she joined them, you know. But like
Hmm.
you know, if she's like, you know, really good friends with Miles, then like, you know, you gotta tell your friend like, hey, like this is why I'm here, you know, instead of just keeping a secret for that long. And we saw the consequences, you know, during towards the end of the film. So yeah, that was really interesting that she did that actually.
Yeah, and I thought maybe we would talk a little bit like kind of their connection too, and just like a beautiful scene when they're like hanging upside down, like sitting upside down. Um,
Yeah,
that scene like looks so cool. And
that was
another
cool.
another great thing that this film does is it gives plenty of time for dialogue. I think you mentioned that
Hmm.
earlier, but it's a fairly long scene, and they're just having a
Yeah,
conversation.
yeah.
um and like how they're similar, in like the important ways, as Miles says. And yeah, I just really like their connection. I didn't so like I've always been a big Spider-Man fan, but like definitely through like these two movies I've learned more about both of their characters
Mhm.
in particular. So did you want to touch on any of that?
Yeah, I also like that scene too because it felt like it was like 10 minutes long, where Miles and
Yeah.
Gwen were just talking, and like you said, they were hanging upside down. Like man, such a beautiful shots, man. Like dude, every single frame from that movie, I'm like wallpaper, wallpaper, wallpaper.
Right.
Everything was just great. But like I realized that that's Miles like thinking spot. Because I remember in No Way Home, you know, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man was like, does Tom Holland Spider-Man like have a place where he just kind of like just thinks, you know? And
Hmm.
they mentioned like some of the locations. Andrew did, Toby did. Obviously, we saw Tom's location, and then we got Miles' location, his thinking spot. You know, where he just likes to, you know, just chill and you know just think and just to be calm. You know, it's kind of like it's the relaxing spot pretty much. So I thought that was like really interesting too. But I did like that conversation that they had, you know, back and forth. But like, you know, um, Gwen Stacy, like, she mentioned that every every universe, Spider-Man falls in love with Gwen, and we all know what happens with Gwen Stacy. So, do you feel like that's foreshadowing what could happen in Beyond the Spider-Verse? Like, you think something could happen to Spider-Gwen, or
Hmm.
what?
That's a good question, and I'm glad you brought that up too, because I think this movie, a couple times, it hints at like the possibility of what the future would look like. Um, in Miles' universe, but I think also they hinted at, you know, obviously there's different outcomes. I think they hinted towards the end there that he has the opportunity to change his future.
Hmm.
And so I feel like that can also be applied to Gwen.
Yeah.
And um, this film had more of a darker ending. I think that's kind of why it felt a little more like a Empire Strikes Back type of movie. Um, so I think that we could save a happy ending for another film. And so yeah, I don't I don't think Gwen necessarily has to go out. I think they'll probably keep her around.
Yeah, I think so too. I feel like they will keep her around. It's just that, like, they just love messing with you, right? Like, just for you
Yeah.
to really think like, oh, what could happen with this character, what could happen with that character. And so when Spider-Gwen mentioned it, I was like, it got me thinking. And then that scene where the spot where Miles like sees the future from the spot, and there was one scene in particular where a lot of Spider-Men were just lying on the ground, and then the spot was still standing.
Hmm.
So, Gwen may not be lying around, but it's like that could possibly happen because Miles and Gwen are just really good friends, So it kind of, I don't think it's gonna
For now.
happen,
For now.
for now, right? For now, right? I don't think it's gonna happen, but it's just like, how many times have we seen it, with like the comics, and then also in the Amazing Spider-Man 2 with Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield, So it's like it could possibly happen, but like you were saying, with obviously we have like those canon events, but like those events could change. So like her fate, like it could also change as well.
Yeah. And so I think that's probably a good segue into like another big part of the story, which is, and we could talk about the villain, or well, one of the other villains, I guess. He's not really the main villain, and he might have a change of heart in the next film. But Oscar Isaac as is it 2099?
Yeah, 2099. Yeah,
Okay,
Miguel
yeah,
O'Hara. Yeah.
right. So basically, this idea that they need to keep everything intact with their universes in order to save a few, um, rather than have things fall apart and then endanger a whole lot of lives, right? But I love, and that's probably my favorite part about this film and the story, is that um, again, I think a lot of people can like relate to like Miles' sentiment and how he just feels so strongly about like I can do both, and I'm gonna try to do both. Um, just like that ambitious attitude, you know what I mean? Like he
Hmm.
wants so badly to do right, but he just wants to have both. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and I thought that's great. I really like that about the film. So the other thing I was going to say about that is going back to hinting at being able to change the future. When you see Gwen's dad resign from the Force, I think that kind of hinted at like things changing, like because that was basically what was going to save her dad, that event, right?
You're right. Right.
And
Hmm.
so I think that even it was a light bulb moment for Gwen too, um, to maybe like go and hopefully I don't know, maybe she was gonna talk to Miles' dad about that, or at least
Yeah.
talk to Miles about it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they were gonna find a way.
Mhm.
You know what I mean, to save him. So
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, I
yeah,
agree
but
with that.
what do you think about that part of the story? Like,
And that was definitely a light bulb moment for me. I was like, oh, okay, because I was like, I think the word canon event just got stuck in my head. Like, oh, there's nothing that you can change about that, because like that conversation between like Miguel and Miles, like, dude, I was going back and forth. I was like, oh, Miguel has a point. Wait a minute, Miles has a point. What? Like,
yeah.
whose side am I on? Like they both have valid
Hmm.
points, but like, with Miles, he's like, yo, like we're all Spider-Man here. Like we're just gonna let people die. Like that's not what we do. That's not how we roll. So like, and it's definitely tough for sure. Like, oh, I can do everything. Like I can save everybody. But unfortunately, like that's not always like gonna happen. So like, but with Gwen too, I like the fact that they showed that scene because Captain Stacy was like, yeah, I resign because of you. And so I was like, wow. So then like it got me thinking like, oh wow, like Miles's dad, Officer Morales, like he can do the same thing.
Hmm.
Because remember in the Miles Morales game, or was it no, it was the first Spider-Man game where Miles Morales' dad, he did die, from Mr. Negative. And so obviously it's a game, um but it's like, okay, like we definitely see that. And then towards the end of the movie, we saw our Miles go into Earth 42's universe, and we
Yeah.
saw Officer Morales. We saw the graffiti on
Right.
there and stuff like that. So I'm just like, obviously these are all different universes. So like something could change, like you can, like, since Miles saw that vision, I'm like, dude, like you can definitely change something, for your
Hmm.
dad not to die, So I like that, that they mentioned about the canon event. And also too, man, how great of a multiverse movie this was. Like, dude, the MCU, like I like the MCU, and
Yeah.
obviously lately it hasn't been all that great, but like learn from this,
Hmm.
because I like the fact that like they had a spider society. They had an organization where you saw all of these different Spider-Men from different universes just all together, and then
Yeah.
explaining everything. I was like, now this is a multiverse movie, which, a lot of these multiverse projects that we've been seeing lately from Marvel is what Across the Spider-Verse, it should have been like that, from what we've
Exactly.
seen from Across the Spider-Verse. So,
Yeah.
so yeah.
I was gonna say the same thing, and I even told Jake, um, my co-host, that
Mm-hmm.
like I'm really tired of the time travel stuff lately too.
Yeah.
In this new phase,
Yeah.
I'm tired of the multiverse stuff.
Yeah.
I think it gets really convoluted. I think
Mm-hmm.
the they handled it the best in in Endgame
Mm-hmm.
and
They did.
in Infinity War.
Yeah.
Um, but like this is kind of what like Loki and the TVA, like what they could have done. Like this is how it should have been. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly. The Spider
Yeah,
Society, it did remind me of the TVA
because they're
from
doing
the
the
Loki
same
TV
thing.
series. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, pretty much, because you remember that scene where they were in it's not Manhattan, but Mubahattan or something like that, right?
Yeah,
So that scene right at the end when when he becomes like super powerful, and then we see like that huge spot just sucking up that building or whatever, and then the spider people came and they were trying to they were trying to do something with it, but I was like, this reminds me of the TVA, but
hmm,
but dude, like that's what they should have done, because yeah, I do agree that like the time traveling and all that stuff, like there's like a few time traveling like movies where I'm like, okay, like this is a really good time traveling, like Back to the Future, for example. Like that's a
yeah,
great time traveling trilogy, But then there's other time traveling stuff where it's just like you just ask more questions than you get answers, right? So
hmm,
it can get like really confusing and overwhelming at times, and that's what I'm feeling like what the
yeah,
MCU is doing, So like Across the Spider-Verse though is like, it's great, that they had the canon event and everybody just gathering together, in an organization. Like that was super cool, man. I'm like, now
hmm.
that to me, that was a multiverse movie for sure.
I feel like in order for it to work with those types of movies, like you obviously have to explain things pretty well, but you need to have like a solid level of simplicity and like not have so many rules to keep track of. Um, it's okay if things are a little bit vague. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about it. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't too complicated to keep track of, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even for just some casual viewers, man, who may not know a lot about the Spider-Man lore, that was easy to understand. You know what I mean? So like, I
Yeah.
appreciate that, because you gotta do both sides. Like, you gotta do ones who are like fans of, you know, superheroes, fans of Marvel or whatever. Then you gotta also you know, please the ones who may not really know about it. You know, who just want to have a good time watching a movie. So with Across the Spider-Verse, explaining the Spider-Verse, like Miles said, it really made a lot of sense, you know, with these canon events and how it's all connected, and just seeing the different Spider-Man too, even live action, the cartoons, animated series, that was awesome. The comic books, man, that was awesome. You know, so that,
Yeah.
to me, this felt like a multiverse movie where it was just not too complicated. It was simple, and you really enjoyed it.
Yeah, did you want to talk a little bit more about like some of the cameos, or there's some other ones that
Yeah, we could talk.
you really enjoyed?
About the cameos, man. I think, like, you know, right off the bat, dude, the best cameo, or one of the best cameos, and we'll talk about this one a little bit, but like Lego Spider-Man, bro. I knew, so I,
Yeah.
you know, sometimes like I'll do short videos on my channel, and I'll look at like different news reports, you know, from like social media or TikTok or whatever, and like they said that Lego Spider-Man was going to appear, and I was like, oh, okay, like that's cool. I forgot that Lego Spider-Man existed, but like, yeah, sure, like let him come into the Spider-Verse. And like, dude, the whole Lego universe, I'm like, this literally looks like, this looks super sick. Like, dude, if they made a Lego movie like what they did with the Lego Batman movie and the other Lego movies, man, I'll be on board for that. I'll definitely want a Lego Spider-Man movie for sure.
And it is the same people that do it too, Lord and Miller.
Yeah, but you know something too, bro. So I don't know if you heard, but did you know that there's a 14-year-old boy that actually helped them out? The creators of the Spider-Verse movie, a 14-year-old boy helped them out with creating the Lego Spider-Verse.
Did he really?
He did, bro. So like, he has his own YouTube channel. And so right after the Spider-Verse trailer came out, can't remember if it was the second one or the first one, but like, he replicated like the Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse trailer with Legos, and it looks really good. And so they called the 14-year-old boy, was like, hey, you want to help us out with Across the Spider-Verse? And he's like, yeah, sure. So he helped them out with that and Across the Spider-Verse
that's
movie,
so
bro.
Cool.
I was like, wow, man, like so many talented people, bro. You know, so yeah, like that was so cool, bro. That was really cool. But yeah, that was one of my favorite cameos, man. Seeing that, and then also seeing Insomniac Spider-Man as well, which is like one of my favorite games, man. He showed up, and it literally, obviously, it looked so much like the game, which I really liked, because
with the white spider, right?
Yeah, like the shirt that you have on right now with the white spider. Yeah, the video game Spider-Man, PS4.
Amazing game.
Yeah, great game. It's a great game.
I just finished. I streamed it too on the channel, but I just ran through Miles Morales recently.
Oh, was that your first time playing it, or you had?
Yeah. I had started it, but like I never finished it.
You never finished it.
Okay. Yeah, just
okay.
Got into other stuff, but great game as well. So
yeah, both games are great, and I can't wait for Marvel's Spider-Man 2 when it comes out this fall, man. Woo, great! It looks so good. Gameplay looks so good.
Yeah.
But
what were you
anyway,
gonna say about it?
I was gonna say, like, with Insomniac Spider-Man 2, like, you're like, wow, like this looks just like him, because like that's good, because obviously, like, you know, the different Spider-Man, they have their own animation, but they kept it just like, you know, with the Insomniac Spider-Man, just looked like the game, and I appreciated that, because, you know, they didn't do anything like weird to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, make a new, different animation style. So yeah, those cameos were really cool, but like, the one that really stands out the most, bro, is Donald Glover's Prowler, bro. Like, I was like, what? No way, you know? And like, you know, there's a story behind like Donald Glover and, you know, and like his Spider-Man. or like just him like really representing Spider-Man, because they really took inspiration from him from like that one Community episode to create Miles Morales. Actually,
I heard about that.
Yeah, and then obviously like Donald Glover was in Spider-Man: Homecoming, and then when Into the Spider-Verse came out, Uncle Aaron was watching TV, and it was that episode of Community with Donald Glover wearing the Spider-Man stuff. So I was like, oh wow, okay. And then years later, he's the Prowler, bro. And so I'm like, is this the MCU Prowler? Like, is this the Prowler that we, or is this just like a different Prowler from like a different universe? Because I hope it's MCU Prowler, just because like, the connection and stuff, right? So
that'd be really cool.
Especially what we've seen from Homecoming, right? So yeah, I think that would be really cool, man. But like, but I think like it hints because I have this theory, for like Beyond the Spider-Verse. So can I share it? Just real quick?
Go for it.
Because like after seeing like some of this like live action stuff, like Donald Glover's Prowler, and then Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield from like those canon events, right?
Yeah.
My theory for Beyond the Spider-Verse is that right after, everything is good, I think Miles is going to like, kind of like make a sacrifice, so to speak. And like, he's going to stop the spot, but as he's stopping the spot, like something's going to happen to where Miles Morales from, the Spider-Verse films he's going to go into the MCU. Like that's how he's going to turn into live action Miles Morales. And so like, I know there's reports saying like, oh, Miles Morales was in No Way Home, and that scene at the end when Tom Holland's Peter, walks into his new apartment, and then you hear some people talk in the background, and that was Miles' mom. That's what I was hearing. So I was like, okay, that's interesting. But obviously we're in the multiverse phase right now, so anything can happen. But like, that's what I want to see, because there's reports about like, Amy Pascal, Sony being like, yeah, we're making a live action Miles Morales movie. It's coming really soon. So that's what I think is going to happen, man, because like I want to see a live action Miles Morales movie. So that's my theory, especially now that like my theory could be like more valid, because it's like we've seen live action cameos already, Dom, in Across the Spider-Verse. So like, that's what I think is going to happen. But yeah, those cameos were like super amazing, bro.
Anyone that you would cast for Miles?
Oh, now see, like that's a really good question. Obviously, like you wanna find an actor that's like Afro Latino, So I mean, I don't really know any actors off the top of my head who have that. So you gotta find somebody who is just an unknown, and then he can have a breakout role as playing as Miles. So just somebody new. You do not want to have Shameik Moore, because he's old. Like he's not like old, but he's too old to play the role of Miles. The actor that voices as Miles in the Spider-Verse films.
Yeah.
People have said Caleb McLaughlin from the Netflix series Stranger Things. People want him in there.
Oh yeah.
I've
heard that. I've heard that rumor.
You've heard that. Yeah. There's another actor. He's from the show Blackish, but like I can't remember his name, bro, off the top of my head. But like I could see him playing as Miles. I heard some rumors about Jaden Smith being Miles Morales, and I was like, no, not him. Like I can't see Miles Brown. That's his name from the show Blackish.
Okay.
So like I'm like, okay, like I could see him, being a Miles Morales. So he's 18 years old. So I'm like, okay, like yeah, like get him on, if you can. But I feel like most likely, whomever is playing a live action Miles Morales will have to be somebody that we never even heard of before. So that's what I'm thinking it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I think I would probably agree with that. I always like that too. And then, they kind of have like their real origin story, like the actor themselves, they're able to kind of break out and make a name for themselves, show what they can do.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. So So yeah, but I definitely I like the the whole Spider Society. I like those cameos, bro. What were some of your favorite cameos actually?
Um, I liked. I don't know if I have a whole lot that really stood out. I liked all of them.
Mm-hmm.
I also really liked the Lego one. Just always been a huge Lego fan growing
Mm-hmm.
up. I also had Spider-Man Legos growing up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting, like some of these things shouldn't work either, on paper, like they shouldn't really work, but
Yeah.
um, yeah, you can tell just like so much time and effort went into making it feel pretty seamless. Like they're, like you said, like they can transition and they can have different art styles that are still a part of one art style. You know what I mean? They're
Mm-hmm.
still part of like the main visual that you're seeing on the screen, but they're all blended together, just really seamless. So yeah, the Lego one, I thought it was cool. You see like the original Spider-Man
Yeah.
from the animated series.
Yeah. Yeah.
I never watched it, but I also thought it was just cool to see like I think it's the Spectacular Spider-Man from like
Yeah.
one of the newer shows.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen that show, but I'm sure for like a lot of kids, like that's their Spider-Man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm actually I'm in the process of rewatching it actually.
Are you? Is it good?
Yeah. So dude, like I forgot like how good it was actually. So like I'm in the process of like, recording videos and stuff, and then I'll post it
Okay.
on my on our channel, but like
Okay. Cool.
but dude, like the first 4 episodes that I've seen, like I mean his quips, like his jokes and stuff, I'm like on point,
Yeah.
some of the animation for some of the villains I'm liking, like Electro, and then what they did with Lizard in that series. I was like, oh, okay, like his transformation and things like that was like really, really good. Um, like it's a nice show. It's a really, really good show. Like a lot of people praise the show. People do like this adaptation or this iteration of Spider-Man. But yeah, it's definitely different for sure. It came out in around 2008 actually, so it only ran for like 1 or 2 seasons. Really short time, but hey, Spectacular Spider-Man made a cameo or made an appearance in Across the Spider-Verse, so a lot of people were thrilled to see that.
Yeah.
So yeah, so far, man, I've been really enjoying the show, and like has a lot of like deep moments too, and you can definitely appreciate the Spider-Man character a lot because a lot of people, man, can relate to Spider-Man just because like he's gone through so much, right? But yeah, I've been really enjoying the show so far. I've been liking the rewatch of it.
That's cool. Yeah, I'll have to check it out. I think
Yeah.
I might want to stick kind of like on this similar theme for just a minute or two, but I was gonna say, I was gonna ask you, have you seen? It's on Disney Plus now, but
Okay.
have you seen? It might just be called Spider-Man, but it's like more of a 3D animation.
Oh, okay. It's just called Spider-Man. When did it come out?
I believe so. Mid 2000s.
Mid 2000s.
Here, I gotta
Okay.
pull it up real quick.
Because it wasn't Spider-Man Unlimited, right? Like that one that came out, like
No.
the futuristic kind of. Okay.
No, but this is basically, it's like the most underrated Spider-Man cartoon. It's
Oh, okay.
If you haven't seen this,
Mhm.
put it on your watch list. I promise you won't regret it.
Okay.
Great stories, pretty good dialogue and acting. Yeah, it's just called Spider-Man. 2003
Oh.
is when it came
Okay.
out. There's one season.
Uh-huh.
The art style is pretty cool. At the time, like at the time when this came out, it just like completely blew me away.
Really? Okay. Dude,
Yeah.
I never heard of this actually. I mean, there's tons of Spider-Man shows out there, but like I've never seen this actually.
Did you look it up?
Yeah, I'm actually on it right now. I'm looking it up right
Yeah.
now. Neil Patrick Harris actually voiced Peter Parker in this. No way. Wow, that's
Oh,
crazy.
I didn't even realize that. That's funny.
Yeah, that is right.
No, the stories and it's, you know, I want to say it's a little bit darker, but like definitely definitely for a wide audience.
Yeah. Did this Spider-Man from the 2003 show, did he appear in Across the Spider-Verse? I can't really remember.
I'm not sure.
Actually.
I honestly feel like there's just a good chance like we miss stuff. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
we probably did.
Like
Yeah.
there's so many things happening in some
Yeah.
of those scenes, like in the lobby or whatever, when they're walking
Yeah.
outside. Like
We probably
we're
did. It's just that we didn't notice it.
yeah, because I was gonna say too, like um for me, I mentioned this on like one of our last episodes, but like for me, my Spider-Man, um, well, I grew up with the original one from the animated series, and I love that one. My favorite my favorite episodes are the team up with Spider-Man and Daredevil. That's
Oh, okay.
on Disney Plus. Those two
Yeah.
crossover episodes were my
Yeah.
favorite growing up. So I
Mhm.
grew up with that, but what really made me love the character even more was the Ultimate Spider-Man comics.
Mhm.
Did
Mhm.
you ever check those out or play the
I
game?
I've heard of it actually. I don't think I never got a
Yeah.
chance to check it out, but maybe when I have
Yeah.
some time, I'll probably do it.
Yeah, I'm sure you've probably seen like the art style before, but like that's my all-time favorite Spider-Man is the Ultimate Spider-Man.
Okay.
And that's what Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man is based on too.
Mm.
Because he's like kind of like a emo Peter Parker, and he's
Mhm.
like a little bit cool. Like he's still a nerd, but he's a little bit cool. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Mhm.
But yeah, and the Ultimate line of comics, like they did Ultimate X-Men as well.
Okay.
And like those were like my favorite. But like I feel like there's a good chance like maybe I just missed him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, there's so many, but like they did say that they are saving more Spider-Man for Beyond the Spider-Verse, so it could, like, we could get a chance to see that 2003 Spider-Man show up in Beyond the Spider-Verse if he didn't show up in Across the Spider-Verse. So, and there's tons of other Spider-Man too that haven't even showed up either. Like I think of Silk, for example, dude. Like she wasn't in Across the Spider-Verse, so she could show up in Beyond the Spider-Verse, for example. But yeah, there's a lot of Spider-Man out there, dude. It's like it's crazy how many there are, but like we all like them, because they're Spider-Man, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So yeah, really cool characters.
Yeah, I'd love to see like Iron Spider,
Oh yeah, Iron Spider would be nice, man. Wow. I heard that there's a Spider Ham 2099 as well.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that would be interesting to see, So, wow, yeah, just a great movie, man. Just a great movie.
I know. Any like other important things to throw out there before we close out in a little bit? I mean, I think Oscar Isaac did an amazing job again with Miguel.
Yeah, he has range, man. Like, he did Apocalypse in the X-Men movies. He played Moon Knight.
We don't talk about that as much, but yeah.
I know we don't really talk about it.
But he sure did play him.
He did his thing, Like he tried to do his thing, man. Moon Knight, the different personalities, and then this one, it's like, yeah, I mean, he has range, man. So yeah, man, hats off to him. But
yeah, like I was just telling a friend, like, for me, like a lot of the Marvel shows, they fell flat for me towards the end.
Yeah, I feel the same way too.
Including Moon Knight. I actually didn't even watch the last episode because like the second to last, I was pretty much done.
Yeah, I got you.
I just couldn't get invested with where they were taking the story.
Yeah.
But I was also telling that same friend, I was like, man, like Oscar Isaac gives like the performance of his life, especially in those first few episodes of Moon Knight. Like, it's crazy. He's such an amazing actor, and he is. Again, he's incredible voicing him in this too.
Yeah, yeah, that's so true. That's so true, man. Like, I even though I was disappointed with the finale of Moon Knight, like, I could still appreciate Oscar Isaac playing those different
Mm-hmm.
personalities, like Stephen Grant, all them guys, Jake Lockley, and he just did such a fascinating job with that character. So hopefully we can get a chance to see him more in the future of the MCU. But so I want to talk about like Spider-Man 2099 real quick. So I mean it may not be true, but like dude, like okay, so from Into the Spider-Verse to the Across the Spider-Verse. Okay, maybe Spider-Man 2099 Miguel. Yeah, probably he bulked up, right? But he looks different. Like I mean, he looks really different from the first movie to this movie, right? And just I don't know. I've always thought that like this was a different Miguel, or from some of the
Mm.
theories that I'm hearing too. I forgot the organization that it was, but they killed Spider-Man. Actually, I
Mm-hmm.
forgot the name of this organization, but like people were saying that like Miguel could be like a part of that. You know what I mean? Like that's who he
Yeah.
really is. I don't know if you've heard of that theory from other YouTubers that you may follow or just what post on
Not that
social
I,
media.
yeah, not that exact one, but I'm glad you
Okay.
mentioned that because that's one thing I forgot is that um, I think there's a really good chance that this kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier, but I think there's a really good chance that Miguel is not telling like the whole truth when it comes to his story.
Yeah,
And I mean, I was really skeptical at first about him saying that Miles, was an anomaly, right? And he was never
yeah,
supposed to be there. I
yeah.
was like, oh, that's probably not true. It turns out that probably is true,
Hmm.
but his story and how he like took over that other Spider-Man's life, I feel like there's more to it than that.
Yeah, I
Um,
feel like so too, man. Yeah.
don't you think?
Because I was like just from looking I was just looking at like their physical appearance from Into the Spider Verse and Across the Spider Verse, Miguel O'Hara. I was looking at it and I'm like, this guy looks so
Mm,
different, you know. So dude, what if I just thought about this? What if Miguel O'Hara from Across the Spider Verse, or sorry, what if Miguel O'Hara from Into the Spider Verse that we saw
yeah,
was the one that got shot, right? And
I
then
was thinking of
this
that too.
you were thinking of that, and then this
Hmm.
Miguel that we're seeing right now is maybe he's not even a Miguel, bro. He just looks like him, you know. But like I don't know, dude. But like I have this feeling that like, and I could be wrong, but I just have this feeling, bro, that like this is not Miguel O'Hara. Like this could be somebody else. Like we gotta learn more. I was like, we gotta know more about this character because he seems so sus, bro. You know, like he's so
Yeah,
suspicious. I don't know, but like that's the vibes that I'm getting from this dude.
and like I mentioned, he might have a change of heart in the next one,
Yeah,
but and I think the main villain was obviously Spot, which I actually ended up liking more and more as the film went on.
same.
Um, but I would love it if Miguel stayed bad and like if it was both of them as the villains for the next one.
Yeah,
Um, because I mean I think he looks super cool. I think he acts like his role really really good, and um, if it turns out that like we're saying there is more to the story and he does have like wrong motives and he is like more of an evil character. Uh, I just like that idea about the like two Spider-Men like
hmm
um having a conflict and having to fight each other.
yeah, yeah. I totally agree with that, dude. But like, I think that would definitely be like another plot twist too. You know, or like just something where it's just like, I saw it coming. You know, for Beyond the Spider Verse. So that would be really interesting to see. So, um, so so you said that you liked the Spot in this movie, or you liked him even more towards the end, right?
Yeah, I think he had like more substance, like his character just had more substance, um and again like just this film just did really good at character development, and you're able to kind of understand where he was coming from. um
Mhm.
and that idea like some of these things are kind of recycled, but like that idea about you know the hero is actually the creator of their own
Yeah.
villain.
Yeah.
It's a good idea. It's a good concept to recycle and reuse from time to time.
Yeah,
It
that's
worked.
true.
It worked well.
Yeah, and then his origin story was like funny. I was like, whoa, it was the guy that got hit by
I
the
know.
bagel dude? No, I said, no way. What? And
Yeah.
then look at where he's at right now. So like, do you prefer? I mean, I know we didn't really get that much of the Spot. You know, we'll see more of him. Then maybe you can have like a definitive answer. But do you prefer the Spot or do you prefer Kingpin from Into the Spider-Verse?
Oh well, you know, probably Kingpin.
You still pick Kingpin, yeah.
But also like, you know, growing up with that animated series, like the original Spider-Man. I also grew up with like the original Kingpin.
Oh,
and,
okay.
And so like I know his character pretty well, like his motives and like Kingpin and Kingpin's son are like a big part of that series, at least in one of the seasons. So I've always liked his character. He's a good villain. He's a good Spider-Man villain. He's a good Daredevil villain.
Right. Yeah. For sure. For sure. Yeah. I still would pick Kingpin, but like the Spot could do something, you know, where I'm just like, oh wow, like especially now that he's more menacing, bro. You know, and not goofy.
And you mentioned like the video game, and they are pulling some stuff from that, at least some ideas or inspiration, because I had heard that originally they were thinking about using Mr. Negative as a villain.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
But basically, I was hearing that they still kind of took some inspiration for, you know, the route that they went on with the Spot.
Yeah, I heard about that they were going to have Mr. Negative, dude. I remember that like a couple years ago when this movie was in development. But I'm glad that they had the Spot because it was like it just made sense because of like the multiverse and stuff. You know what I mean? So I the Spot was definitely interesting because I never heard of that character until now. About the Spot, you know.
I know he is in the comics, but I hadn't heard of him until now too. But yeah,
for sure, man, for sure. So let me see if I can. I think I had a couple more questions. I just have to.
I've got one too.
Oh, okay. What's yours actually? Then maybe it'll come up.
We haven't talked about like what our favorite scene is.
Oh, okay. Favorite scene, man.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Well, definitely that scene where it was just like Miles and Gwen, you know, just talking, bro. Like visually stunning. The dialogue was just great. That was a great scene. I think that train scene as well. That was really good too, bro.
When he's like, I'm gonna do my own thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my own thing.
Yeah,
you know, like,
so good.
Like that quote was hard, bro. You know, like, it was so good.
Yeah,
man.
it went hard.
It was great, dude. And then, okay. Here's my question, because another good scene was that ending, bro. So, did you realize that Miles was in a different universe? Because I would say it took me a while, but once I saw his room, once I saw the outfit that he was with, like the jacket, you know, and then the looking outside too, bro, and I was just like, he's in a different universe, you know, like before he glitched. Did you pick that up?
I was putting it together when his mom was acting confused. I was putting it together. Yeah.
Okay.
But, you know, I didn't pick up on it, and like checking out someone else's review, apparently he grabs a sweater or his jacket, which it should be red and blue, right?
Yes, yeah.
But it's green and purple, or is that the colors?
Yeah, it was green and purple.
Black and purple.
It was green and purple, like the Prowler. It was green and purple, the jacket, yeah.
And I didn't even pick up on that. The first time watching it.
Yeah.
Did you pick up on that part the first time?
Dude, so like I was saying, like, okay, so when he goes into the room and then he's talking to his mom, during that conversation, because I was looking at his room and I'm like, dude, this room looks so different. I'm like, where are the posters at? You know, where's the toys? Where's the drawing? Where's that notebook of the drawings of Gwen, right? at that point, that's when I realized he's in a different universe. Like this was like before he glitched, right?
Yeah.
And then he goes to Uncle Aaron, and then we see his his twin, bro. Like
Yeah.
it was so insane, man. And then it got me thinking.
You see the black
Like,
and white Nikes too.
Yeah, dude, and
That's cool.
that got me thinking like that's gonna be the next Spider-Verse shoe, bro. Like maybe in that colorway, like because that would be sick, you know. And like in the shoes too, it has like the pockets or the different accessories. So like with the Prowler, I mean, he always has something, you know, up his sleeve. So like he gotta take something out of his shoe pocket, you know, and use it against Spider-Verse Miles or Spider-Man Miles. But like, yeah, it was a crazy scene, bro. But like when Miles is all chained up on that punching bag, didn't it kind of remind you of like when Peter B. Parker was, you know, chained up in the punching bag, and he's like, watch the hands, right? I feel like, dude, that's what we're gonna see in Beyond the Spider-Verse when Miles and Miles go head to head.
Yeah,
and then
that'll be great.
Miles Spider-Man is like, hey, Prowler, you know, to Miles, watch the hands. And then that's when we start seeing, you know, the action going on, dude. I feel like that's what's gonna happen. Like that would be a great start to the movie, bro. That would be a great start.
That Miles is gonna do that move to Prowler Miles.
Yes,
That's what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, just like what Peter B. Parker did to Spider-Man Miles in Into the Spider-Verse.
You know what? That would be. This is my co-host's favorite line. It's like poetry.
It
rhymes.
That's a nice quote. That's a nice quote.
Pretty sure it's a George Lucas thing.
Maybe, yeah.
Pretty sure it is.
Yeah, I probably.
But we always say that on the show.
Oh,
We're constantly saying that.
Yeah.
But no, that would be awesome.
I think so too, man. I think that would be amazing, dude. Like just some of these callbacks, you know, or is it kind of like foreshadowing moments from Into the Spider-Verse, dude? For Beyond the Spider-Verse would just be, it would just be amazing, man. Just be amazing. So yeah. But do you have any other theories for Beyond the Spider-Verse or what?
I don't think I do really.
No. Okay.
I mean, I'm hoping to see like a really cool, like team up kind of battle.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, man. Especially like some of the futuristic scenes that we saw, bro. I'm like, bro, we're gonna see like a spider war. It's gonna be insane, man. Like, I could just imagine like Miles' crew and then Spider-Man 2099, Miguel O'Hara's crew, bro. They're fighting each other, and then eventually they're like, hey, let's stop fighting, you know, and let's fight the Spot, you know, because like this is just getting out of control. Oh, dude, it was so great. You know that the poster where Miles is hanging upside down, and then you see like the city line, and you see like all the Spider-Man like in the background. Well, what I just found out was like, you know, on, let's say it's like the left side of Miles, right, and you see like Miguel O'Hara, you see Spider Woman, you know, who's pregnant, and everybody else, like those are the people that are against Miles. And then on the right side of Miles is like Spider-Gwen, Peter B. Parker, everybody else that's on Miles' side. And so after watching the movie and looking at that poster, I'm like, oh, okay, I like this poster even more now, you know, because of the meaning behind it. So yeah, that's just something that I wanted to share.
I like that. I guess I do have a little bit of a theory. I'm not sure how likely it is.
Yeah.
But what do you think about Peter B. Parker being the person that makes some kind of sacrifice and dies in the next film?
Yeah, that's
I feel like out of anyone, like that would be the right one to take out.
Yeah, and that would definitely you know, hurt a lot of fans, man, just to see that, because like he was a mentor to Miles. You know, he taught him.
He even tells Miles that he loves him too. Like
yeah.
He tells him that he loves him, and
he's the reason why he had a kid.
I know.
He's the reason why Peter B. Parker had Mayday Parker. You know, so I could definitely see it happening.
But it's like, how do they make it work with the baby being around is the question. You know what I mean? I feel like that's the tricky part.
Yeah, that's true, man. That's true. Dang.
because I
Like the
feel like that is the emotional punch that we
yeah.
need.
Dang, bro. It like, oh my gosh, like it. If Peter B. Parker, like, if he dies, bro, and he's on the ground, and the baby is crawling towards him, and she starts crying, bro, that's gonna hit
It's
you. That's
over.
gonna hit
Yeah,
you. It's over,
for
bro.
sure.
Miles is definitely gonna be like so mad for sure, bro. Like, it's a possibility. It's like there's probably gonna be a bunch of Spider people that will die. Even some of the cameos that we mentioned will probably die and Beyond the Spider-Verse because dude, the Spot is just a menace right now. Like he's way too powerful for this kind of stuff, dude.
Yeah.
But seeing characters like Peter B. Parker, possibly Spider-Gwen, Spider-Man, no, I don't know, man, but like it's gonna be crazy, dude. It's gonna be crazy.
I was gonna say real quick, I do really like Spider-Punk. I think he's really cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Spider-Punk is like he's my new favorite Spider-Man right now.
Yeah,
dude.
he was great.
That was another scene that I like too when he helped out Miles like from the palm of his hand, I believe, when he was trying to escape that prison thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, bro! And then like Miles against like all those other Spider-Man, dude. Whew, that was incredible, bro. I said, how is he doing this? Like, but it didn't feel like an OP moment, where it just felt so like unrealistic.
It kind of felt like it was his destiny.
Yeah,
sort of a thing.
Yeah, pretty much, man. Miles had it all planned out, bro. Getting all those Spider people out and leading them to the train. Mm-hmm. Dude, insane, bro. Insane.
Yeah, that was definitely my favorite scene too.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, do you feel like we're going to see Miles Morales get an upgrade to his suit? Because obviously his suit has gotten a lot of damage lately, but like I was thinking like maybe after that fight, against the Prowler, Miles's Prowler, right? Once he defeats them, I'm thinking he's gonna get like some of their gadgets or something in order to fight the Spot probably, and then we see an upgraded suit for Miles.
Yeah, I think maybe like the web arms.
Yeah, like the web's arms or something, bro. And then like it can be able to, like you can be able to grab the Spot from your webs, and you can be able to like hit him or something, not go through his spots or something, or maybe remove the spots from him. I don't know, just something like that would be really interesting because
or like a suit that helps him to like go into the different universes, you know what I mean?
Oh, that's
without glitching.
Oh yeah, that's true because
that would make sense.
That would make sense because we did see like that rubber. That wristband that he had, it was just for the day pass, but like
that was funny. That was funny.
Yeah, that was funny.
Like,
the day pass stuff.
Just a day pass.
Just a day pass. Yeah, like you were going to the music part, but that was funny though. But yeah, if he uses like that technology for his new suit for him to be able to go to different universes, bro, that'd be great. Yeah. That'd be great. So yeah, I think he is definitely going to get an upgraded suit for Beyond the Spider-Verse, man, and. Oh man, I can't wait for that movie, bro. Like I'm so hyped, and it's like 8 months away. Like, can we just get it like tomorrow or something? Get it tonight, cause dude, it's gonna be a great movie, man. So so after watching like these two movies, bro, and obviously we don't know how Beyond the Spider-Verse is going to be like, but like, dude, I'm thinking like if Beyond the Spider-Verse turns out to be actually like incredible, bro, like a great ending to a trilogy, hands down one of or the best trilogy of all time.
I don't know. I'll probably still end up giving it to the original Star Wars, but
really
it'll be up there for me.
I think it will be up there for me. Like if Beyond the Spider-Verse does well, like dude, I don't know, it'll be like a top 3 trilogy, bro. Like it'll be up there for me, man. Personally, it will be up there for me because like if the sequel did this good, imagine what Beyond the Spider-Verse is going to be like, especially how the way it ended and it left you like hype, bro. I'm just saying, man. Like I respect the original trilogy for sure.
Yeah,
I respect it a lot. I respect the Dark Knight trilogy. I respect that stuff. But like, man, just something about this Spider-Verse film, bro.
Well, I'm pretty sure this film is my favorite Spider-Man movie, and
really?
I felt that way about Into the Spider-Verse. but now I think this one takes over.
This one takes over for you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even more than Far From Home, because that one's definitely up there too. But
really, okay.
It's just still it's different.
Yeah. So what are your like rankings for the Spider-Man movies?
So Garfield is my Spider-Man because, like
Okay.
I said, he's based off of Ultimate Spider-Man, which is my favorite version. You know, those comics, and like I just think Andrew Garfield's just like an incredible actor too, and
yeah, he is. Yeah.
yeah. So I also think that like I think both movies are definitely underrated, both of the Amazing Spider-Man movies. This
Okay.
You know, there's definitely plenty of weak moments, but there's also so much good stuff in both of those films.
Yeah, that's true.
And yeah, I like them way more than any of the Toby films.
Okay.
And don't get me wrong, because at the time, you know, when we had like Toby Spider-Man at the time, like that was groundbreaking.
Yeah, no, for sure it was. Yeah,
so good, but
yeah,
they don't hold up as well.
I get it. Like sorry to cut you off, but like
no, it's cool.
I appreciate Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man more now. Before, dude, I was a hater, bro.
Really?
Like,
okay.
I mean, yeah, because I think it's just because like I also obviously like we all grew up watching, especially for our generation, we grew up watching the Tobey Maguire movies, bro. Like I had Spider-Man 2 on DVD, bro. You know, so like I
saw Spider-Man 2 like so many times in theater. I had like everyone take me to see that movie.
Yeah, for real. So like I liked it, you know, and then like I think it was just too quick to do another repeat of an origin story. You know, that was a setback. That's why not that many people really like the Amazing Spider-Man movies, was because it felt so like soon, you know. And then like sure, like there were definitely some bad parts, you know, in both of those movies, but after rewatching it, especially when No Way Home was coming out, I was like, oh, I actually like some things about this. Like one of my favorite things about the Amazing Spider-Man movies is the chemistry between Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone, bro. Like it's way better than Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst. Yeah. Way better than Tom Holland and Zendaya, bro.
It is
way better, bro. Because in Homecoming it was not Toby. It was Tom Holland and Liz, right? Which I mean, I didn't really like their relationship in the first place. And then when Zendaya came in, that MJ, it felt so forced. And then No Way Home, they got better. But I mean, she forgot who he is. So, but like Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield's chemistry is like it's hands down the best like live action adaptation for a love interest in my opinion.
And spoiler for Amazing Spider-Man 2, but when she dies, it hurts so bad.
Oh my gosh, man! I remember watching that in theaters, bro. And I was just in shock. I was like, dang, this movie is bad, but like that part right there, though, bro, like that, wow, you know, like, dude, it's still one of the most, like, it's like a top 5 emotional scene in Spider-Man movies, bro, all Spider-Man movies, like, and you hear the snap too?
I know.
Oh my gosh.
It's rough.
It was so rough, bro. So rough. Oh, that hit me, dude. That hit me. And now I want to see Amazing Spider-Man 3, bro, if they ever do it. But like, I would love that so much. But like,
they were supposed to, so their plan originally was they were going to do a Sinister Six type of thing.
I remember
because you remember, like, you see them like building it towards the end.
Yeah.
I forget who it is that walks in there. It might have been that one guy with the hat.
Oh yeah, man. What in the world was his name, dude?
But then there's a bunch of like these chambers that have like the different suits, and you saw like the arms for Doc Ock and a bunch of different things.
Yeah, I remember that. But like, I remember that, dude. They were actually going to have Andrew Garfield Spider-Man in the MCU. Actually, he was going to appear in Civil War. But obviously, you know, we got Tom Holland instead. But
go
ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say another thing that I liked about those films, which we didn't get to see it like really play out. It was just alluded to, was the chemistry between Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone. Like, they were but like you remember Norman Osborn, which I like that. I like that actor and his portrayal. But like
Oh,
you
okay.
remember how his hands looked and how he looked like a monster basically.
Yeah, yeah.
So again, like when it comes to the Ultimate Spider-Man version, like the Ultimate Spider-Man comic book, Green Goblin was like a lot bigger, and he was like he was like a monster. He was almost like the Hulk.
Really? Like what we
Like
saw in
he
Into the
was like a
Spider-Verse?
yes, exactly,
Okay. Okay.
exactly like that. Yeah, like
Okay.
more like a mutated
Yeah.
goblin character.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and I thought that was really cool. So that was
No,
obviously taken
that's
from there.
interesting. That's interesting. Wow. Like I would actually kind of like to see that in live action. Like I'm wondering if
Yeah,
like the MCU is going to do that. Obviously we did get Norman Osborn in the MCU, but like we didn't get like Tom Holland's version of Norman Osborn. So I'm wondering if they're going to do I kind of want them to do something like that. You know, like just
yeah,
go for it. You know, like I think that would be really cool. But yeah, so like one of my favorite Spider-Man movies are like these two for sure. Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse. That's like it's like in my top two probably.
Which one do you rank first?
Probably this one.
Yeah,
I don't think it's because of recency bias. I think it's just because like everything that we just talked about for like this past hour, bro, is like I'm like, okay, this is my favorite Spider-Man movie now, bro. You know, like it's one of the best comic book movies of all time, one of the best Spider-Man movies of all time, one of the best movies of all time. It's up there, bro.
yeah.
Into the Spider-Verse is probably second. Incredible movie still, bro. Like soundtrack is iconic. Leap of faith scene is great.
That's right after he like really gets his powers and makes the suit,
Yeah.
right? And he jumps
Yes.
off. I was
Yeah,
just
and he
thinking
just saw
about
the
that and
building.
about to say that. Yeah, because I rewatched it.
Yeah.
And so basically that scene is basically it's like basically a very similar moment with the train scene. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
kind of get that same feeling.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when he's basically, you know, going off on his adventure and like nothing can stop him, right?
Yeah.
That's exactly what those moments were.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And then like maybe my third favorite Spider-Man film, I think it was just because, bro, like theater experience and everything like that. I did like Spider-Man No Way Home. Yes, it did have some flaws, and we talk about like the multiverse earlier and how like it's so confusing, and that's how I kind of felt with No Way Home was like how like dude, I had so many questions like for example, what about the people from outer space, like Guardians, Thor, like all those people, like Captain Marvel, do they remember Spider-Man? Do they remember? You know what I mean? Like, so,
Yeah.
so like questions like that. But I still had a fun time watching the film. And then like, um, and then like, I did like Homecoming, and then I did like the first Amazing Spider-Man movie with Andrew Garfield. I did like that film. And then you know the other films are like kind of towards like you know the bottom. But my least favorite Spider-Man film would probably have to be because all of them are rewatchable, right? I mean, all of them are rewatchable in their own way. Because like I mean, it kind of I mean. To a certain extent, it kind of.
If I'm watching the Toby ones, like you know, it's mainly to laugh.
Yeah, so it's so right, exactly. So you're still rewatching it though, right? Like,
but I probably won't.
You probably won't. You probably won't. But like, I mean, what if you were with a friend and like they're watching the Spider-Man movies for the first time? You probably watch it with them though, right? Like a really good friend of you, probably.
I mean, I wouldn't want to start with those.
You wouldn't want to start with those?
No.
I mean, you kind of have to, man.
You don't have to.
I mean, nah, dude. Like you kind of have to, just because you can get a really good laugh at like you know some of the cheesy lines and like some of those scenes are good too, bro. You know, like I understand like you know your take on Tobey Maguire films, like you know because I mean I'm not a huge fan of Spider-Man 3 for sure, you know, and I know some of my friends are like, oh yeah man, dude, this is great. I'm like, nah, dude, the memes and everything, Tobey Maguire is what made the movie like so much better. But really and truly though, like there hasn't really been like a totally trash Spider-Man movie, to be honest with you. not like, I mean, a super
Yeah.
trash movie, bro. Like at least these Spider-Man movies are like, you can
There's
make the
like some
argument
redeeming
like,
qualities.
yeah, there's some redeeming qualities about it. Like okay, like for example, you're a fan of Andrew Garfield, right? You like the movies. Not everybody is going to agree with you.
Right. Yeah.
However,
A lot of
there
people
were
don't like him.
right. However, though, they would rewatch that movie, or they would rewatch like some of those scenes, because there were just some scenes where it's just like, wow, like that was actually really nice, or like I never even thought about it in that way. Especially after like No Way Home, bro, people like started liking Andrew Garfield
I
even
know.
more. So
It
like,
was like how people like Hayden Christensen as
yeah,
Anakin now.
yeah, exactly. And when he appeared in Kenobi, dude, last year, I was
It's the
actually
same thing.
really, yeah, I was actually really happy. I was like, wow, like he's back, man. Like that's awesome. And he's gonna appear in Ahsoka too, as a Force
Yeah.
Ghost, I believe, or maybe even a flashback. So that would be really awesome. But
You're gonna
I
have to
mean,
come back on the show so we can talk Star Wars soon.
yeah, man. Yeah, whenever you do it, man, just hit me up, bro. Let me know, because that would be amazing. But yeah, dude. I mean, there hasn't really been like a truly like just the Spider-Man films. I'm not talking about like Venom and the other stuff, but like just Spider-Man in general. Like all of them are just like good, you know, in their own way, you know, because you got fans of Toby, you got fans of Andrew, you got fans of Tom, and now you got fans of Miles Morales. So it's like. It's like every Spider-Man is kind of like a goat, you know, in their own way, you know. So like, but yeah, Spider-Man 3 is like my least favorite film, and I do have to put TASM2 in there, but there were definitely some cool moments in the second film that I definitely appreciated. You know, I just felt like they obviously could have done a better job, because like, you know, Andrew Garfield, man, was getting hated, bro. Like
that's my favorite live action suit though. Is
hey, you know what though?
Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
And again, sorry to keep bringing it up, but that's the one that looks the closest to Ultimate
I
Spider-Man.
get it. No, I know, like no, I totally agree with you, bro. It's actually a great suit. It's a great suit, bro. I actually really do like that suit, to be honest.
Amazing Spider-Man 2. Yeah.
Yeah, a great suit. But yeah, no, the Toby films though, man, like when I rewatched them, I was like, what in the world? Like I knew what to expect for Spider-Man 3, but I forgot how. I was like, wow, like this movie right here, like, oh my goodness, like they should have not had Venom in that film in the first place. But like Spider-Man 2 though, oh man, I did like Spider-Man 2, but it's not. Yeah. But now it's not like my. This
is like the new train scene though.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Because back then, everyone was talking about that train scene.
Yeah,
right?
No, back then, bro, like that train scene and everything, dude. And but like the action too between like him and Doc Ock, like, dude, it was good, bro. Like that, especially at that time, and even when I rewatched it, like during No Way Home, it was even when I like rewatched it like a couple years ago, like I was still like, ooh, like that was nice. Like it was really good, bro. Cause like with Sam Raimi, bro. Sam Raimi is really good at like the jump scares, you know, especially like that hospital scene. Yeah. And then like the you know, like I could appreciate some things about that. And I could understand why people have Spider-Man 2 in like the top 3, top 5, you know.
I don't understand it. Like I know that's true.
And that's fine, you know, because like obviously it's just the dialogue, you know. I think that's what it was. And you know, Toby didn't have, I would say Toby's the least funniest Spider-Man, because like Andrew to me was like super funny, bro.
He's like funny in a different way, you know what
I
mean?
You know, like but like Andrew Garfield Spider-Man was like, I was like, dude, this guy cracks me up. Like that's Spider-Man for sure. Same thing with like Spectacular Spider-Man 2. Whenever you get a chance to watch that, get a chance to watch that TV series, like he kind of reminded me of Andrew in some of those ways. Like every time he just never shut his mouth, you know? So like Andrew was like funny, bro. You know, Miles is also like kind of funny too, but like, but Toby was like the least funniest to me as a Spider-Man. But like with him playing as Peter Parker as like a nerd and stuff, I'm like, okay, like he fits that, you know what I mean? But yeah, so.
What do you think of Tom though?
So I've always said that like Tom Holland.
Not even talking about him.
I know, right? We didn't even talk about him, man. But like, I've always said that like So in terms of like the live action Spider-Man, personally, Tom is my favorite. I think I like him even more now, especially like when I rewatched his movies. I like him more now with after watching No Way Home, right?
That was
And
his
so
best performance by
best,
far.
oh yeah, best performance, bro. Best performance. Like the emotions that he had, I was like, yeah, this is what we're talking about here, man. This is what I like. And then now that he's gonna be getting a job, and then the police radio station, that he's listening to, and then sewing his suit, living on his own. I'm like, guys, this could be it. This could be like our favorite live action Spider-Man ever. And I definitely respect like the other Spider-Man as well. I mean, Toby definitely, he paved the way. Andrew had his own thing, and now with Tom, in this huge cinematic universe, bro. I feel like now we can get that street level Spider-Man superhero that we always loved, right? Because he was a galactic superhero, when he came to the Avengers and stuff, right? But what people didn't understand was like, this kid's he's a teenager. He is going to make dumb mistakes. Like, I mean, we all went through that as teenagers, bro, making like some stupid mistakes, right? But now, and he's gonna learn like to grow up, right?
Yeah.
He got his GED, he's about to get a job, so it's like he lost both Aunt May and Uncle Ben, and lost Tony. Like, he lost a lot of people.
I don't think he lost Ben. I've heard there's no Ben in his universe.
What?
Yeah. The Aunt May, losing Aunt May was losing his Uncle Ben, basically.
No way, really?
That's what I've heard. Yeah.
That's what you heard? There was no talks about from any other movie about Uncle Ben at all?
No Uncle Ben.
No way, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's new to me. Huh. No way, man. There's no Uncle Ben in this universe. That's really interesting.
And remember, they talked to him about that too. They're like, kind of like that scene in Into Spider-Verse with Miles, but like, Toby and Andrew were telling him how, like, for them it was their Uncle Ben.
That's true. That's true. What? Dude, that's so new to me, bro. I didn't even pick that up. Holy moly, man. Yeah. Wow, that actually blew my mind. I did not know that. Wow, that's really fascinating. Wow, I did not know that, man. That's crazy. But no, I do like Tom Holland Spider-Man, and I feel like more people appreciate him more now, especially
he's good.
Especially that it's just different. But I do not want, maybe Zendaya will appear in Spider-Man 4, but I do not want them to have another like loving relationship again. Like, I want them to go their separate ways, like, to be honest with you. Yeah, I just because if they did that, bro, like Peter Parker and MJ, Zendaya's character, getting back together, it would ruin No Way Home for me. It would. And then, like, it would be lower on my list if they did that, because like it just wouldn't stay true to the story pretty much.
I've got a theory or an idea. So like, let's say that he needs a new love interest, right?
Right.
Obviously, everyone's gonna be like, okay, well, let's bring in a new Gwen Stacy.
Right, or Black Cat.
I was just gonna say that. What if we did Black Cat instead?
Yeah.
Now they'd have to change her character a little bit, but they already changed Zendaya's quite a bit. So Black Cat would probably have to be young, like a younger version. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But that would be cool.
Yeah, I think so too. I think in my opinion, I feel like you gotta have a new love interest for Peter. Maybe like, you don't have to rush it in the fourth one. Be like in the fourth Spider-Man film when that comes out, right? Of Tom Holland. But like, that's just the one thing that I don't want to see is like Tom Holland and Zendaya's characters just getting together, and then and change the title up too. Enough of this home stuff. Like, like, we get it.
But Spider-Verse is doing it too.
I mean, that's true. That is true, bro. But you know what though? It lives up to it, man. Yeah. It lives up to the name. I get it though. I get it. But it's like
no, I don't like the names.
I don't. It's like Homecoming, Far From Home, No Way Home. like it fits, you know, for the movie, but like it's just not like it's not a strong title, you know. So I was
watching this other podcast. I remember them like just making jokes about it, and they were like, they're like saying, like they'd do like Spider-Man. Can we get McDonald's, Mom? No, we're going home.
No, we're going home. That's funny. That's funny. Okay, so like, what do you think? What do you think the title is going to be like then for Spider-Man? Is it just going to be Spider-Man 4, or are they going to be like Spider-Man Forever or something like that?
Forever home, forever at
forever
home.
Forever home.
He's like injured. He's injured. He can't leave the apartment.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh, I don't know, but like, yeah, you got to change the title up, bro. Like, we're done with this home stuff, dude. Because I will be peeved if they do another like title with the word home in it. But yeah, you know, I like all these, you know, actors that have played as Spider-Man, bro. You know, have done a really good job. You know, whether we like their movies or dislike their movies, like you can appreciate the effort that they made and the time that they put into it, because I feel like, you know, with Spider-Man, bro, I'm looking at all these different superheroes and the actors that have played, you know, these superheroes. Like, I think Spider-Man is up there for sure, you know, like all four of them are just great, you know. And then you have Superman. It's kind of back and forth, you know, with the actors that have played as Superman. Kind of the same thing with Batman too.
Yeah.
Nobody has really played as Iron Man besides RDJ, so like he's definitely up there for sure. You know, so but like Spider-Man is like all those actors, man, has just people like either of those people, you know, that have played as Spider-Man. So that's something I appreciate about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for
man,
sure.
So, yeah. Across the Spider-Verse is probably my favorite Spider-Man movie right now, dude. And I can't wait for Beyond, bro, because I'm telling you, man, if Beyond the Spider-Verse is like, it's great, bro. If it's better than Across the Spider-Verse or just as good as Across the Spider-Verse, bro, hands down the best trilogy. Hands down. Hands down, man.
Yeah.
I was gonna tell you, man. So when we went to see Across the Spider-Verse in theaters, bro, I dressed up in a Spider-Man suit. Actually.
Did you? Do you have pictures?
I did. Yeah, I actually do have some pictures.
Can you show us?
Yeah, I can actually. I can
either on your phone or you could share screen.
Yeah, I can actually share screen here. I'm on a new tab right now, so I can share screen it real quick. Let me see if I can find it.
Is it Miles or is it regular?
So it's actually it's one of the Miles Morales suits from the Miles Morales video game that came out a couple years ago. So it was like I wanted to wear something. I wanted to wear Miguel O'Hara's suit, actually. Yeah. Or one of the Tom Holland suits, you know, or Toby. I don't know. I just wanted to get a Spider-Man suit. And this suit was able to come just in time right before the movie. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna wear this, bro. And like, dude, it was so much fun, bro. It was so much fun. I was the only one in my group that wore it. But I was
no one else dressed up?
No, man. I thought they would, but like I felt like, dude, they were just too chicken, bro. You know?
But you know what? But you know what? Hats off to you for sticking with it.
Yeah, man, I stuck with it, bro. I stuck with it. I said, no, man, I'm suiting up, bro. Like, you know, I've been hearing because before I was hearing really good things about Across the Spider-Verse, and I was like, no, I'm dressing up, man. And so after me dressing up, my friends did say like, you know, I'm gonna dress up for Beyond the Spider-Verse. I'm like, you better, bro. You better dress up for Beyond the Spider-Verse, man, because like that, yeah, it was great. But yeah, I have the pictures pulled up. I don't know if I could be able. Am I able to share screen?
I believe so.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
It should be towards the bottom. Present.
Oh, okay. Let me see.
And then we'll wrap things up here in
okay.
a minute too.
Oh, okay. Let me see here. Share screen. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so this is it right here.
Okay, Let's pull it up. Oh, nice, dude.
Yeah, yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. So there's me right there. That's just one of the photos. All the other ones are like, yeah. Let me see. There's that. There's me right here.
Nice.
On the pole, bro. Like, do you see on the bottom right here? I'm like, man, there is no room for my feet, to put on there. And I had to wrap my arm around the pole too, bro. And then I did the Spider-Man thing. So yeah, those are
cool.
my friends. And then there's me right here, on the chair, man, as Spider-Man. But some people were like,
I miss Harkins.
Oh yeah, you guys, where you live, you don't really have a Harkins. Huh? What's the theater that you go to?
Harkins. So it's usually Regal.
Oh, okay. I've heard of Regal before.
Yeah. I think California has Regal too, I believe.
Yes, yeah, they do. There's another theater that I've heard, Cinemark. You guys have a Cinemark out there?
I don't believe so.
Oh, okay. That's kind of a popular theater chain kind of thing. I don't know like the major locations. Excuse me, but I'm sure there's some in like California or something. You know, but yeah. Anyways, bro, yeah, that was me just as Spider-Man, dude.
That's super cool.
But yeah, I felt famous, bro.
Yeah.
Everybody was taking pictures and stuff. But yeah, dude, cool. It was so cool. And you know what though? It's not just for this one time. Like I'm gonna wear it again for like Beyond the Spider-Verse and other future Spider-Man films, bro. I might change it up too, bro. Hey, yeah, that's true. Where I'm at, they actually have. It's called a fan fusion. It's kind of like it's Comic-Con and stuff. So like that. I don't know how long ago when it started, but like but it was funny. Like one of my friends, she texted me, was like, "Yo, Marcellos, like I'm seeing all these people dressed up as Spider-Man right now, bro." She saw like 10 Spider-Man, and she saw the movie with us too, so she felt like she was in the Spider Society. So I was like, "Oh man, like I wish I was there, just to like be with my people, you know what I'm saying?"
Right. Yeah.
Oh man, so yeah, dude, that night, bro, was so much fun, man. Like being around, great friends and watching a great movie, dude. So yeah, man. I'm gonna wear that suit again, y'all. And guys, like, don't be afraid, to walk into the theater dressing up, man. Like everybody will be like really impressed with you, because you're a nerd, you're a fan at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I did it, man. Cause yeah, I like Spider-Man.
Cool.
So. But I think that's it, right?
I would be someone that would dress up too. I haven't yet, but I'd totally be down.
Oh, okay. Well, hey man, whenever you get a chance to, bro. I mean, Beyond the Spider-Verse is coming in like 8 months, so like
maybe I'll come in March. We'll go see it together.
We'll both dress up. Yeah, man. Well, who would you dress up as actually?
I mean, I think Miguel would be cool too. Actually, I didn't even mention it, but Scarlet Spider is probably my favorite suit.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right? He's got the red hoodie, but then he has the blue shirt over him.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Andy Samberg, he voiced as Ben O'Reilly. Yeah, right, Ben O'Reilly. In that actually. So yeah, his character was funny, bro.
I never pictured him being like kind of funny like that, but
right.
But I don't know if that was like a different spin on him or not. But
yeah, I'm not
that's
really
always
sure.
been my favorite suit.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of people's
and the black
favorite suit. Yeah,
and the black and white, the symbiote. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That one, clean, bro, clean. But yeah, I like that suit too, bro. So yeah. Yeah, Spider-Man just has like any Spider-Man just has like really cool suits, bro, that you could wear. Like it's fascinating, man. So yeah, but
it's been great. It's been great.
Yeah. I think that's it. I think we covered most of it, right? Or pretty much mostly. Yeah. Okay.
I think we did good.
Yeah, man.
I think we did good.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, Across the Spider-Verse was like, man, such an amazing movie, bro. Yeah. Loved it so much, man. Loved it so much. Yeah.
Well, hey, it's been a pleasure. I want you to shout out your channel if you'd like.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Let the people know.
Yeah. So I do a podcast. It's called the Sidekicks Podcast, as you can see under my nickname Blitz. Blaze and I, we usually do the channel together. Right now, he is taking a break from it. Just he's just doing. He has a lot of things like on his plate right now, guys. For those who follow us or are watching this right now. But I'll be doing it solo. So I'll be doing like some videos here and there. We'll watch movies. And watch some TV shows and stuff like that. So still check it out.
I'll come back whenever you want me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah. So yeah, just check out the channel, guys. Subscribe to the Starfighter podcast as well. They do an excellent job of like really breaking like certain episodes, certain movies down. So they really do a good job in that, guys. Like I really mean that. Because you guys do an excellent job with that. So yeah, but yeah, for our channel, for the Sidekicks podcast, go and check it out. Check out those other videos. But yeah, there will definitely be a lot more videos to come out soon. Because just from right now and into the future, it's just so much content. Because when we started, I mean, there was like a few shows, a few movies here and there, but now like we're really ramping it up. So. It's going to be a lot, and I'll do the best I can in covering it. Try to get that stuff out, as quickly as possible. And if not, I mean, the video will still come out. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
So yeah, but check out our channel, guys. Just type in the Sidekicks podcast, just like what you see here down below, right here.
I'm sorry. I was just gonna say we do have a video on your channel. So we did it. Remember that 2-part?
Yeah, I do.
Episode we did.
Yeah.
So part 1 is here on the Starfighter podcast. Part 2 is on the Sidekicks podcast. It's been a while, but those were really fun episodes that we did. It was entitled like the most powerful Jedi, and then the most powerful, most powerful Sith and Jedi, and then most powerful bounty hunters. So, yeah.
It was a great. It was a cool like concept that we did. A nice crossover kind of thing.
It was a crossover episode. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys can check out those videos. It's under our podcast episodes playlist, I believe. So check that out whenever you get a chance for our channel, for the Sidekicks podcast. So yeah, it's my little shout out. It's my little plug-in. So yeah.
Awesome. Thanks again, bro.
Oh yeah, hey man, thanks for
It.
asking. Yeah. So and then guys, like eventually, I'm gonna be doing like a movie reaction to the Across the Spider-Verse when it comes out on streaming. So I'm gonna be doing that eventually. Because who doesn't want to rewatch this movie? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'll be definitely doing that sometime soon, guys. So yeah.
Awesome.
All
right, bro. It's been great. And what's coming up on our channel? We're gonna have some Ahsoka content. Doing some shorter breakdown episodes of like some of her origin story and things that you want to know before the Ahsoka series comes out. And then also we're getting ready to do breakdowns for what is it? Secret Invasion. Yeah, so that's coming out soon.
That's coming out in the next couple of weeks, actually. Wow. I mean, dude, I hope that show turns out to be one of the best Disney Plus shows. Like, I want to say I have high expectations for this show, but it's like, dude, what we've been getting lately is just been average, or mid. So I hope this show does really well, because it is kind of giving me like that Captain America Winter Soldier vibes, bro. It really, really is. It really is. So I hope this show turns out to be really good, man.
Yeah, me too. And then Jake and I will be doing a review on the new Transformers movie soon.
Okay.
Hopefully, if all goes well, we will at least record it on Sunday and put it out for you guys next week. But you can expect that soon. Got a lot of fun stuff coming up, so you guys stay tuned.
This summer is just crazy, man. Just so much. I'm like, it's been so long since there's been something like this, where it's just back-to-back potential bangers of movies, bro. Like, whew, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, you let us know, what you're interested in, and we will have you back soon to talk either Marvel or Star Wars.
Okay. Yeah. That would be great.
And thanks so much, everyone, for tuning in. We will catch you guys in the next video.
All right. See you guys.